Sorry, yes. Just wanted to ask a general question. As I said, I missed the beginning of your talk. Because I have my doubts about the sincerity of the government to resolve this issue. Do you think there is a window dressing exercise somehow due to changes of geopolitical context in the region?
This sincerity business is a very intricate business.
Okay.
Everybody is questioning every other person's sincerity. They have been questioning our sincerity also. Well, if the government has come to this level of starting a peace initiative and activating some people called intellectuals or something, and providing that with funds to travel to places to create dialogue, then this means the return of this route is very hard. So we have to be very careful and force this process into constant transparency. There's no other thing we can do.
Thank you.
Okay. Parallel to this so-called peace process, or whatever it really is, because no one knows what's going on behind it, how is your insight to the new constitution that is about to be written, or this commission that is trying to formulate a new constitution? Does that include like anti-discrimination laws against Kurds, for example? Because you see all the one of the big problems as well that other parties, other more radical groups of far right from Turkey are very often, or their distanced representatives are very often allowed to discriminate Kurds publicly and speaking their rights off and so on. And that again polarizes the society and so on. So if there would be any measures taken, such as anti-discrimination laws, that they would be able to do that, and that would reflect itself also less in the society. So have you got a bit of an insight what is going on with the Commission and their constitution?
Okay, thank you. Well, there is something concrete, so my insight comes later. What is concrete is only 30% of the articles have been accepted by the four parties. Therefore, the hope for a constitution that would be satisfactory for democracy in general, there is no hope for that. What could happen is a short kind of constitution could be written which would not meet the demands of the people who are seeking democratization from both liberal and socialist venues. That could be one temporary solution maybe, but I don't think that the constitution can be done within a few months, because those people, as you mentioned, who are against the Kurdish, they can't even accept the existence. There is some people like that, and there are some people in every country, but we have the population is a little bit larger. That discriminatory laws cannot be outlined in the sense we want, because yet Turkish political culture has not comprehended positive discrimination and positive rights. We are still in the negative rights position, unfortunately. But that small constitution, maybe a short one, can open a way if we continue our struggle from all fields in a coordinated, balanced way. That short constitution may be a way out.
Yeah, the friend next to that.
Yeah, judging by the past experiences of the Kurdish political parties, the future doesn't look very optimistic. However, in the past week, there was a major development when the Kurdistan Workers' Party decided to pull back its guerrilla forces. And now it's expected Turkey's sort of move, that's what people are waiting for. And I was wondering, in relation to some of the things you said, whether you expect certain developments. Firstly, in relation to the 10% election threshold, do you expect the next step for the government to be to lower it, perhaps to 4%?
Their proposal is 7%, unfortunately.
Yeah, and in terms of
Just on.
And in terms of these, you mentioned the democratic autonomy.
Yeah.
And how determined the BDP is going to be in terms of pushing it forward in light of what Abdullah Öcalan in the last, or one of his last conversations with the BDP MP said that he doesn't think it's that necessary. He could be, they can compromise on it in the sense that it was a part of a discussion about resolving the Kurdish question rather than a concrete proposal. So do you think, will the BDP be very determined in pushing that forward as part of a solution?
Well, that determination is really related to the a radical decentralization that is, in the contemporary sense, sharing the power, sharing the responsibility and authority, and creating the decisions, part of the decisions in the locality and part of the decisions in the central authority. That can follow a process. It doesn't have to be in the same way as demanded in 2010 by the party. It doesn't have to be at that point. Because the demand, the content of the demand is both better public administration, provision of services, and status, asking for a status. So something in between can be accepted for development, which is going to be something very, very radically new for Turkey anyway. And many people will easily support that. For example, the European Union's autonomy, that some of these we have not accepted. Those articles that we have not accepted are related to asking the local people. You know, there are some articles where it says, before decision, you have to ask the local people. We have skipped those articles. So even accepting them and forcing some decentralization is much, much easier than solving the constitution problem.
Thank you very much. We'll move over to this lady here.
Thank you for your talk. I was interested in one of the historical connections that you made between the Democrat Party policies with regards to Kurdish demands for decentralization and their connection to the 19th century policies. I believe you have in mind Abdülhamid's policies in sort of making a pact with the landlords in the region. And I was wondering whether you whether you believe there is a danger in the current peace process of a similar kind of pact of elites, and if so, what are the protections and guarantees against that coming from within the movement?
The protection is that the successful municipalities with Peace and Democracy Party has been able to break that traditional support system. So the traditional thing has changed in many places. That is also very interesting for me because that shows that linkage with the 19th century, 20th century right-wing political parties, left-wing political parties, they have, the right wings also, have given self-confidence to local authority in a different way for landlords collaborating with some political parties. Now the self-confidence is again given to local people, but this time for encouraging participation for very contemporary issues like ecological issues, women's issues, children's rights. For example, children's rights was not a point of discussion until 5 years ago in Turkey.